How and why did this happen in Burlington?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't really tell you. I think in Burlington, what we did back in 1981 is we pointed out the inadequacies of the previous government, and we knocked on a lot of doors, and we talked common sense to the people. We articulated the issues that I believe were of concern to the people, and since I've been elected, we've continued to focus on those issues. We have said, and our view is, that government has the right to get involved in any area that makes sense. You don't get involved in areas where it doesn't make sense. Previously, we had not had youth programs. We really didn't have good arts programs. In terms of our waterfront development, we were too prone to give it over to wealthy people and condominium development rather than preserving it for ordinary people. So I think we just talked the issues to the people. We knocked on doors. We worked very hard. And lo and behold, people responded. And I think the message that I'd like to convey to people is that if you go out in your cities and in your towns and you talk common sense to the people, you can win. And we should not be overwhelmed or frightened by the powers of the Democratic and Republican parties. I don't believe that they really have a lot of grassroots support. I think that most people vote Democrat, they vote Republican, because they don't see any alternative. And it seems to me that the challenge of our time is to wake people up, is to go outside of the Democratic and Republican Party, to talk about the real issues, health care, the fact, the growing gap between the rich and the poor in this country, the bipartisan foreign policy by which we spend $300 billion on military while we cut back on programs for the elderly, health care, housing. I think if you ask people whether, I mean, just recently what's been coming up in terms of the congressional pay raise, here you have a Congress which is giving themselves a 50% pay raise, is proposing to do that when they haven't raised the minimum wage in 10 years, and they've cut back on a whole variety of programs for working people and poor people. So I think that what has to happen in communities around this country is articulate the issues, have the guts to stand up to the people who own your community, who dominate the two major parties, and you'd be surprised at the results you'll get.